Okay, so this next video is part one. It's going to take a few videos because I didn't want to make a 30-minute video. And this video is about proprioception. So proprio means oneself, and ception means grasping. So before I talked about interoception, that's sensing sensations in our body. And proprioception, classically, I think it was coined in 1906, is the sensing of the positions of our body. So there's like a conscious proprioception, like what's my, like if I was doing yoga, like what position is my body in? And then there's an unconscious proprioception that is about balance. And basically, when we're off balance, our inner ear and our eyesight just immediately rights us. So we look at the horizon and we level ourselves. And so unconsciously, when we don't have a grasp of ourself, we seek to right it. We seek to right it when we don't have a grasp of ourself. And this plays into empathy well because sense of self is necessary for empathy. We have to be a person before we can be with a person. And I think this distinction is really helpful for understanding often why we feel upset and why we go to such great lengths to not feel upset. So Guy Sengstock described it to me once as proprioception. It's like being in a dark room and like reaching around. And we're partly asking like, what's in this room? We're partly asking like, am I about to hit my face on something? And we're partly looking for the light switch. Like, I want to know what's in here so I can feel righted. There's like a drive to feel righted or balanced or to grasp the self. So let's see. Two common distinctions in proprioception are, and I don't know if I'm coining these, but I'm looking at them right now, is sensing, like what's out there in this dark room, and naming. So I touch something and I'm like, what is that? And that's why having a teacher can be so helpful, because they've propriocepted a lot. And when they're empathizing with us, propriocepting in the dark room, they can give us hints as to what something is. So sensing and naming. And so I'm expounding, and I think Guy does too, proprioception into not just the position of our body, but our emotional positioning. And it can be very stressful when we don't feel right, which equates to we don't know who we are, what we're being. So a distinction is a name. It's like, what is this? In the dark. Oh, that's the light switch. I know what that feels like. It's a little nubbin with a flippiness to it. Yeah, and so if we don't, like, our ability to sense, is just to look around in the dark and then distinct things, like name them. And we let's see. So emotionally, our emotional rightness or sense of self, there's a few distinctions that can be very helpful. The first is, commonly sensed as confusion, ambiguity, or not knowing. And I like to call it mystery. So I'm unbalanced emotionally, and I look around, and the first distinction of the dark room is mystery. Ah, immediately the light comes on just a little bit. I still don't actually know what's happening, but I do have context for my state. Oh, I'm in the dark room. I'm in the mystery. People will sense it as confusion. In authentic relating, one of my favorite moments is when I ask somebody, how you feel. How do you feel? And they say, I don't know. And I think, good, good. That's confusion. That's one of the hardest states to feel. So in the beginning of proprioception, knowing when we don't know can be a huge writing. Like usually when something's wrong, right? We don't have a sense of self, who we are, what we're being. It's all upset. And the questions that come up are something like, there's something wrong with me. What did I do wrong? Taking responsibility. What did I do wrong? There's something wrong with me. Shame, taking responsibility. I must have done something wrong. I deserve this. And a great solace that can create like a little bubble of safety around you is, oh, I'm confused. I'm in a mystery. And immediately our sense of self becomes more cohesive. So I'm going to go into this more. So take note, and at least in the beginning, take a little pride, just a little pride and comfort when you can notice the mystery. You can notice the mystery. Thanks.